The ongoing dispute between Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and his fellow Republican state legislators against the Walt Disney Company. And we want to be clear, Disney is the parent company of ABC News. Well, that fight continues to intensify, but the state is also facing heat for other topics, such as LGBTQ rights and voting rights as well. And joining us now is one of the key players in the Florida GOP, Florida House Speaker Chris Sprowls. Speaker, thanks so much for being here. We want to get straight to it and be quick with your time. Earlier today, a group of Democrats actually staged a protest on the House floor against the redistricting maps in Florida. They were even chanting, "Black voters are under attack." I mean, just real quick, what's your reaction?
Look, I think it was a disruptive, obstructive way to handle the process. Obviously, it wasn't civil. And really, to be honest, Trevor, really robbed the other representatives of their opportunity to engage on that bill and engage on other bills. Those are individuals who represent 22 million Floridians. I thought it was a childish display.
Just a few weeks ago, a chief district judge ruled against a bill that Florida Republicans passed last year regarding requesting ballots. A lot of people are concerned about voting rights. That judge, though, went as far as saying that your party was directly targeting black voters. And then today, the Southern Poverty Law Center put out a statement against these new redistricting maps, and they called them discriminatory. Does any of that concern you?
Look, nobody likes being called names, but the reality is Judge Walker, as you mentioned, has a long history here in the state of Florida of going after the legislature on all kinds of things, targeting Republicans. It's my belief that is going to be reversed on appeal. I put out a very strong statement after I got the opportunity to read Judge Walker's opinion, which I think was slanderous to some members of the legislature. So I think that the legislature in the state of Florida will be successful when that's appealed.
Any concerns about the Southern Poverty Law Center saying the redistricting map is discriminatory?
No, I think it's exactly what we'd expect from the Southern Poverty Law Center. This is not an organization that is nonpartisan. I think a lot of these organizations try to appear to be nonpartisan, but the reality is they are organizing with the DCCC and the Democratic Party, whether it's on redistricting or other host of issues. That has long been the case here in Florida, and redistricting is no exception.
There's a lot of focus on the battle between Governor DeSantis of Florida Republicans and Disney, and this move now to strip Walt Disney World of its decades-old special status that comes after Disney spoke out against the parental rights in education law, what critics are calling the Don't Say Gay bill. We know that the Republican Party has always touted itself as pro-business, and certainly the state of Florida advertises itself that way. Is this a shift in party philosophy? I mean, this is against the largest employer in the state.
No, it's not a shift. The reality is we branded ourselves as a pro-business climate. Year over year, we're top 5 in business climate. But what we've also branded ourselves, especially over the last 5 or 6 years since I've had the opportunity to be in the Florida House, as against things like corporate welfare or crony capitalism. The reality is since the 1968 Constitution, when Lyndon Johnson was president of the United States, there are 6 special districts that have never been revisited. They haven't been touched or looked at in over 50 years. Some of them are things like mosquito control districts or law libraries, but only one is a massive corporation in Disney, which has these superpowers to govern themselves, to tax themselves, and to do things like build nuclear power plants. I've long been a believer on these special taxing districts, whether it's Disney or others, that we need to look at them, that they're a subterranean state of unaccountability, and we need to draw attention to them. And that's what we did here this week.
I am curious about that, about these superpowers of the special right for Disney, because in the talking points that were sent to us by your office today, they said, quote, Disney's recent actions brought awareness to its unique and unaccountable power via a special district, allowing it to self-govern and to wage taxes, even build a nuclear power facility, as you mentioned. Speaker, you've been representing your district, which is pretty close to Disney World, since 2014. This deal's been in place going back for decades. If this was such a problem, why are state lawmakers now just getting to it?
We're not, actually. We've been in this fight for a long time. Over the last couple of years, we've had over a dozen bills that have been filed to bring accountability to special districts. We even have every 20-year process called the Constitutional Revision Commission, where I personally, Trevor, filed a proposal to sunset and referendum every single special taxing district here in the state of Florida with a 10-year referendum. And of course, the lobbying measures took place and they were able to stop that from being heard. But the Florida House has a long history over the last number of years going after these kinds of things. This is no different.
Is Disney losing this special status because the status that they had was wrong and bad for taxpayers, or are they losing it because they spoke out against this bill?
I think it's certainly, listen, I'd be lying to say that we didn't draw attention to themselves when they came out about this bill, but it's not about drawing attention to themselves. I want to be clear. I believe they misled the people and the public here in the state of Florida in their comments about the bill, which, is 4 pages long. It's double spaced. These are sophisticated actors. They know what is and what is not in the bill, but certainly that drew the attention to it.
Are you concerned about the everyday Floridians who might have to pick up the tab here?
No, because I think the issues are red herring. I know that folks have raised that issue just as early as this morning on Good Morning America. But the reality is this is a debt taxing district. They're already paying taxes. The debt isn't going to increase. The tax base isn't going to decrease. There's lots of ways to structure the dissolving or modifications of special districts.
So if this continues as it stands, those people in Florida, they don't have to worry about their taxes going up.
No, they don't. They don't have to worry about their taxing going up, and they have a year-long process in order to figure out the best way to address the improvement district, whether it's dissolution or modification, or whether it's distribution of those assets to local governments. So they don't have to worry about their taxes going up.
And then last question, real quick, Speaker. There's a lot of discussion as to whether Disney might just accept this new reality, whether they're going to do some negotiating. When you talked there about modification, are you open to negotiation with Disney, or is it simply they'll need to retract what they said about the bill, or there's going to be no deal?
Well, it's the Reedy Creek Improvement District, which of course really is Disney. But look, we're going to, over the next year, the legislature and the local governments are going to have that conversation. I think people, have said things like knee-jerk reaction. And the reality is it's nothing further from the truth. There's 12 months to figure out the best way to do that. I'm sure there'll be lots of advocates who are going to want to be heard on it, whether it's local governments or Disney. And the legislature will hear their thoughts and hear their ideas.
Florida House Speaker Chris Sprowls, we appreciate your time. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.